There we go. Hello everybody and welcome to a little bonus news live stream, I guess. In case some of you haven't noticed, I can see some of you guys in chat who haven't. Frontier has today officially announced some information on the next era update that we now know is gonna be called Odyssey. And it's gonna come out in the early part of 2021. And we're gonna go over everything that they have announced, every little piece of information. We're gonna go through the announcement trailer that they have got. We're gonna first watch it, then we're gonna go through it almost frame by frame. We're gonna go into much detail, gonna have a discussion. You're welcome to post questions along the way. But just to get you guys up to date, yes, this is an official announcement. I do believe it was a bit of an accidental announcement. So just let me get you guys up to date on what has happened. About, I don't know, like 4 or 5 hours ago now, Frontier's a video suddenly popped up on Frontier's channel. It showed some information about a update called Odyssey with some people walking around. We're gonna watch it here in a second. That video then obviously sparked a ton of hype. The video was then unlisted and then removed, but at that point obviously it was too late. It was already out, it was already circulating, and people had already captured it, and it was beginning to reappear on other channels. People were re-uploading it, and it was already out at that point. There was nothing Frontier could do to prevent that video from getting into circulation. So about 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours-ish after that, the video was re-uploaded, republished, together with an official forum thread, which we're also going to look at here in a second, detailing some of the information, at least the first piece of information we got about the Odyssey update, or that has so far been called the next era update for Elite. And as I said, that's going to come out here at the start of next year. It used to be the end of this year, start of next year. So, the pillow? That one? Oh, it's upside down. There we go. Let's not distract the guy. Oh yeah. Thanks for the follow on Twitch. So, I think what we're gonna do, now that you're all pretty much up to date on what's happening, let's jump over and let's go through the post. No, you know what? Let's start by watching the video. I think that is that's probably the best place to start here. Let me just quickly get this set up so it is ready for you guys. Okay, let's go ahead and let's watch the trailer. We're gonna watch it just normally, and then we're gonna go over it slowly and talk about what there is to get from this trailer here. So let's watch this. You should have sound, right? Haha. Okay, that was the trailer. Personally, I'm pretty hyped. I think that looked awesome, and as some of you have already mentioned, yes, it does look like we're getting a graphic update. And there's actually some, it's not confirmed, but some pretty strong indication that yes, we are in fact getting a graphic update with the new with the new update. But let's go back to the start and let's just watch it slowly, and let's talk about what we can actually deduct from this video. I know there's some sound sync issues. I haven't solved that yet, but I'll see what I can do about getting that in sync. It shouldn't be a lot, but I don't know. Yeah, okay. Obviously, of course, if you haven't noticed already, it does say down here pre-alpha in-engine footage. It's not in-game, because obviously it's not a gameplay trailer, but it is in-engine. That means it is a cinematic trailer rendered or built in the engine, that the graphic engine that they are using for this update. And if we go over to the forum post here in a second, we'll be going to look at that. They did mention the forum post that they had some new tech, and that is probably that new graphic engine. So it seems to me that the Cobra engine that the lead is running on so far is getting a update. Emil, thanks a lot for the donation. Was that a super chat? Yes, it was a super chat. Love your content and passion. Fortsat god aften. Thank you, Emil, and thank you for the super chat. So. Okay, so obviously so far we just have a Cobra flying in space. Let's continue a bit. Okay, I just want to stop and take a pause here again and say thank you to Bunty King. Thanks a lot for the super chat as well. First, it's worth noticing here, keep an eye on the atmosphere. Right here. This is definitely a planet with an atmosphere. And it's not an insignificant atmosphere. You have to keep in mind that if we look at the Earth, for instance, the atmosphere is, 100 kilometers approximately, right? To a planet being 6,000 kilometers roundabout, right? Around about 6,000 kilometers in radius. That means there is a 60-to-1 ratio between... 60-to-1 ratio between the radius of the planet to radius of the atmosphere. So the fact that we can see this atmosphere so clearly here means that there is most definitely an atmosphere. This is not just a glow or something. Yes, this is an atmosphere, strongly indicating that we are going to get some atmospheric landing. And this, of course, proposed a ton of questions, because what about re-entry heat? I would expect that there would be some kind of re-entry heat. It wouldn't be too difficult for them to do. I mean, we already have the whole approach, slide things, glide curves, and that kind of stuff. And we also have the overheating when fuel scooping, like smash those two things together and you got yourself a pretty decent re-entry heat system. Then slap some fancy graphics on top with a ship on fire and you're good to go. So I hope we're going to see some kind of re-entry heat, that if you dive too fast into the atmosphere, your ship is going to overheat and you're going to take module damage, but you can't do it if you're in a hurry. But yeah, let's continue a bit. Cobra goes to planet. Hold on. Just going to see if there's anything here, just as it pans through. If we can see anything. I'm scanning the horizon out here, like the area up here, just to see if there are any kind of structures or settlements in this area, or if it's just craters. But it looks like it is just craters. It would have been like, Frontier could have hidden something there, but now we're gonna go back. We're back in the fade in right now. Oh, did I go too far? Okay, so one of the first thing I notice is the surface here seems very flat. All this area out here at the edge, that looks fine. These rocks looks great. Shadows look, I think the ground here looks a little flat. But again, we have to keep in mind, this is probably pre-alpha. So I would like, I don't know, it just seems odd that you have a planet where the ground is so flat with no rocks at all. I don't know if that's realistic, and it definitely also seems like it's a pretty hard surface, almost like a dried out riverbed or something like that. Are these suits in the game? Not currently, I think, but I think they most likely will be. It's worth noticing though, Piggy Astro, yes, I know it's but we are gonna nitpicky this at all, like a lot. Notice they have different helmets on, so there are definitely gonna be different types of suits, it seems. Cobra or base, that's the Cobra. This is the background, is definitely the ship that we just saw land. Notice again, different helmets, so it seems like there's gonna be some cosmetic options here, probably something you can buy for arcs. Yeah, save those arcs. Would you land in a rock field? No, probably not. Next up, also noticed, even though the guns do look similar, they have some still photos of this that we're going to look at in a second as well. The guns do look similar, but they are different. You can see some white accents colors here on top of the rear part of the gun, and underneath the barrel there's also some white accents on the gun she's holding. Also, the muzzle is different. This one is probably what I would expect coming out of the Empire, where this, like this, the tip of this kind of remind me a little bit of the tip of the Corvette. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is a federal designed weapon. So yeah, let's continue. Walkie, walkie, walkie. Hold on, just go back a bit here. Come on. There we go. Great news on Space Legs. Can't wait to walk around the atmospheric planet. Thanks a lot, Simon, for the very generous donation as well. Yeah, worth mentioning, as well spotted, that we can see footprints. Where's my mouse? Here. And we can also see his footprints right down here. So definitely footprints are is going to be a thing. And yes, that would indicate, you can also see how deep they sink in. This does indicate it's not too loose. What are the odds that they add living guardians? Thanks a lot for the super chat, by the way. I think one thing I've noticed here is this is a barren planet. It's an atmospheric planet, but it's still a barren planet. Yeah, the sky is blue, definitely an atmosphere. So what I think we will see is we will see planets that are... I don't think we're going to see forests and big cities and animal life and that kind of stuff. Those planets that will be able to harbor stuff like that, I don't think we're going to see that. I think it's going to be basically like the rocky worlds or the high metal content worlds with an atmosphere. Those are the ones that we're going to be able to land on. I don't think we're going to be able to land on Earth-like planets or ocean worlds or stuff like that. Also because how do you deal with planets that has a liquid on the surface? We haven't seen anything in this. This is a desert planet, so maybe there's going to be liquid somewhere, but what happens if you try to land your ship on liquid? I mean, it should sink, I guess, or will it float, or how does that work? I'm not sure we're going to see liquid planets. I think it's going to be something like ice worlds, or like high metal content worlds, dried up moons like this. I think those are the types of planets we're going to see. And not planets with plant life, liquids on the surface, animal life, anything like that. So it is definitely still going to be barren planets, I think. Yeah, exactly. Good luck landing on an aquatic planet. Landing on water subnautica. Yeah, you're right. But Loki has a good point, but they could keep adding planets. I mean, right now they're just getting... I mean, this is a huge update. We're getting the whole space lakes, we're getting the guns, we're getting the actual atmospheric re-entry. Then they can begin to work on other types of planets for the future. Maybe like begin to do something with water or liquid on the surface, to that kind of thing. Okay, let's continue a bit. Okay, more walking. Can we scan the horizon here? Is there anything worth noticing in the background? No. But we get the first look of those jetpacks here on the back, if you look at that. They seem rather small for jetpacks, but I'll take it. Let's just take a question over here on Twitter. I noticed there would seem to be 2 people leaving this ship. Is this a continuation of telepresence, or maybe we can ride along with wingmates? There is actually some info on that in the forum thread. We are going to go over that again. I'm just going to quickly go up here and say thank you to Commander LSDMT. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Trade you a super chat for your Constellation Alpha. Please don't stop making dangerous videos. We support you. Thanks a lot, and thanks a lot for the very generous super chat as well. Jump assist pack. Yeah, it's more like jump assist pack than actual jetpacks. But yeah. And there we have the Anaconda flying in above. Did you notice the let's just go back here. You can see the sand being... Notice the sky here, how blue it is, and as the Anaconda flies by at low altitude, how it kicks up sand on the surface. It actually looks pretty good. We also here, after this jump cut here, we can also see this is definitely a moon. We can see the gas giant here in the background with the rings, and there's a moon there. So we are definitely on a moon around a gas giant somewhere, and I wouldn't be half surprised if there was someone somewhere who was going back to a scene like this, looking at the stars and trying to figure out where this was taken. Okay. Anaconda flies over. There we saw the jetpacks in action. Let's just go back here a bit. Or jump packs, or whatever you want to call it. I'm interested if it's ray traced. That's a really good question. I mean, since they've updated the graphic engine, it would make sense to support something like ray tracing. Is there any way we'd be able to see that? Could we maybe find some reflections in the Anaconda from before? As it was flying by? Because if we could get reflections on the ship itself, I'm not sure if it's shiny enough. There's probably too much dust being kicked up. What about their helmets? It doesn't seem like it at this picture, at least. Yeah, what about if we go back to that picture right there? There's not a lot, there's a little bit of reflections here in the helmet that looks like some of the sky is being reflected off the side of the helmet. But that's difficult to judge if that is the case. Yeah, there's a closer look later in the video. Let's just go forward and see what we can see there. Walking in the desert. Thanks a lot for the subscription on YouTube. There we get a little bit closer look also at the gun muzzles. Now we can really see, I'm pretty sure, I mean, if the Federation designed a weapon, that's how I would expect it to look. Similar with the Empire. Maybe it's a little bit too many straight edges, I don't know, for the Empire. Also, I love the decals on the shoulders. I mean, again, there is a bit of some reflections here in the helmet, but it's difficult to say if that is ray tracing or not. Yeah, exactly. He has a sidearm, and I think she also has a sidearm. There's some better pictures of the sidearms later on. There is, of course, the whole issue with. We gotta come back to the whole issue with VR and HOTAS support and that kind of stuff later on. Okay. First of all, we're gonna first good look at the gun. I've noticed this one here. This kind of looks like some kind of canister for reloading, maybe. I don't know. It could be, I don't know what it is, but it could potentially be like reloading. That's at least what it looks like to me. Let me just quickly refresh this here so I can make sure I have everything updated. Okay, there we go. I like the gun sight as well. I don't know what a tube is doing here on the gun. That seems odd, but I'm not to judge. I don't know how guns work in 1,000 years. But if you notice in the background where the Anaconda is currently landing, there is at least a landing pad, but there's not a whole lot of other things around other than just a landing pad. Hey Revco, what's my opinion on the landing pad? If we just go back in here and just jump back a bit, we can get a clear look on the first frame of the landing pad. I'm just following that small speck of light right there on his helmet just to see how that moves. Looks pretty realistic to me. Oh. There's the first shot of the landing pad. It seems the landing pad itself, I think, seems not rushed, but makeshift at least. It doesn't seem like a permanent thing, or at least something that you would establish on an early colony. Right? I mean, and also the fact, why is the Anaconda landing here? There's nothing around. There's some over here that looks like houses. Good lighting effect on his right shoulder. Yeah. Supply run. It could be a supply run. Okay, we're gonna talk about the game modes in a bit when we go through the forum post. Right now I just want to focus on the video, and then we're gonna talk about all that stuff in a bit. Okay, let's keep going. Anaconda lands, kicks up more dust. I don't see any. What I'm looking for is the maneuvering thrusters here that are used to land. I would expect those to cast light down on the ground. But I don't see that. It could also just be that this is very early stages. They might not have done. I'm not really sure. I just want to see how much they're actually managing to pull out of this new graphic engine. But so far, it definitely looks good. Okay, so there's this weird one frame of Cobra that is then immediately obscured by the text. Hold on, what? Oh, hold on. I'm jumping 5 seconds at a time. That's why it's so weird. Let's jump back a bit. Going back again. Come on. I want to try to see if there are any kind of differences in their lighting as the ship flies overhead. There probably wouldn't be. It looks like right now that the sun is somewhere out to the left of the frame. but I don't see anything. Then we have it coming through the frame, flying away. And I love the new design, by the way. That up here. That's really neat. Yada yada yada. Pretty standard disclaimer. Well, copyright notice information there. Okay. I think we should go over to the forum thread and let's have a look at this in more detail. Because there's actually quite interesting information here. First of all, notice we have here a third type of gun. I actually think I have this image in... I downloaded this image for the thumbnail. So we can actually zoom in. First of all, sidearm. One type of sidearm. A definite different type of sidearm. Looks like they're carrying the same type of sidearm. Here we can see that was the gun that he was wearing in the video, or holding in the video. That's the gun she was running with, I think. And we of course see this other type of whatever gun that is. Looks more long range. Does that say Gutermeyer? I think that says Gutermeyer. That's really difficult to judge. What do you guys think? You're of course watching it after it's being restreamed. Yeah, it kind of looks like a railgun, right? How much will the game cost? We don't know yet. Core dynamics, maybe? This doesn't seem core dynamic. This seems very imperial to me. That could very much be a Gutermeyer weapon. Plasma repeater. This could be a plasma gun. I think there was another weapon at some point that looked more like a rail thing. But yeah. Okay, let's continue. So let's read through that. It's time to disembark, Commander. We're delighted to share with you a glimpse of the next era Elite Dangerous Odyssey. Explore distance worlds on foot, expand the frontier of known space, and leave your mark on the galaxy as you become the first person in history to explore lands untouched since time began. So you've disembarked, you're standing for the first time on an unexplored planet. What can you do next? Here is an overview of what you can look forward to in Elite Dangerous Odyssey. Nice. Really nice already that we get some content ideas at least. But yeah. One giant leap. See the galaxy like never before. Touchdown on breathtaking planets. Powered by stunning new tech. So that was what I referred to. That they are referring here to some new... They are using some kind of new tech. And I think it is the update to the Cobra engine. I hope this is going to be a general update across the whole game. It's not just going to be planet side. I hope this includes ships, stations. Everything's going to get an overhaul graphic-wise. I would love that if we could get that. Sogan sun rising over unforgettable vistas? I don't know. Discover outposts and settlements and explore with unrestricted freedom. So this is interesting because this outpost is what I would think we have today in the game. Outpost like Dav's Hope. That's what I would consider an outpost. It's a small collection of buildings. Settlements seems bigger. In my mind. I mean, it would also make sense. We just saw in the video that they created a actual landing pad. Okay, so breathtaking views. Thank you, Hastas. So outposts again would be, yeah, as I said, something like Dav's Hope. And settlements seems to, I would expect to be bigger stuff. So probably that may also make sense why we saw that landing pad in the video, because if you have a settlement, it will make sense to create a landing pad so you can easily get resupply missions in, especially if it's in a rocky terrain. And explore with unrestricted freedom. Again, I think this is just the fact that it's not like they're gonna make small arena areas you can walk around on. I think it would make sense, and we'll also be expecting that you can walk anywhere on the planets. If you find an interesting crater, you can land your ship there and you can tumble down the side of the crater if you so wish. Fly swatter on Twitch, no cities. I don't think we're gonna see full-on cities. I think we're gonna see slightly larger structures than we see today, but I don't think we're gonna see full-on cities. Thanks for the follow on Twitch, by the way. Forge your own path. Take on a wide variety of contracts, so missions. There's gonna be missions related to space lakes, obviously. Take a wide variety of contracts and play your way from diplomacy and commerce. So trade missions or hauling missions, I would guess. I'm not sure, but that would be my initial guess. Would be that is the type of content I would be hiding behind a statement like that. Lethal stealth, so that would probably be assassination missions. And all-out combat. So it seems you can either go with the more, I want to do some trading, hauling stuff around kind of stuff. I want to do the more stealthy, sneak in, kill someone, and then get out again kind of missions, or maybe steal something, I don't know. Or you can take the more kick in the door approach in all-out combat. Diverse settings, objectives, and NPCs offer endless missions. Endless mission variety and near infinite amount of content to enjoy. So I think when they say endless mission varieties, that tells me that what they're planning to do is to have like different sections in a mission, or different like standard parts of a mission, right? So if you have, let's say a mission is constructed of 3 parts, and let's say for each part you just make 10 different varieties, then all you have done is you've developed 30 different things, but combining those things with 10 in 3 different varieties, that's gonna give you like 1,000 different combinations of missions that you can do. So that's an easy way to get that endless mission varieties. So doesn't mean it's an endless number of handcrafted missions. It's gonna be some auto-generated stuff, much like we have today, probably with spins on the same theme, and an infinite amount of content to enjoy. I think this must refer to the fact that there is basically like an infinite amount of planets that you can explore, and you would never be able to explore all of it. Not gonna happen. Assemble your crew. Some of you guys asked about multiplayer. Social hubs. I'll try it again. Get some more water here. Social hubs spread through the galaxy give commanders the ideal place to plan their next move, from form alliances, purchase services, and even find expert support in the highly coveted engineers. What? These public outposts also help you acquire and upgrade weapons and gears to perfect your playstyle. Okay, so it's basically gonna be these social hubs, like surface bases, like the one we have right now, where you can already land. Maybe that's what they refer to as settlements. So outposts like Dav's Hope, and settlements are the surface bases. Yeah, it could be, as Breaking Bob says, could be engineering for personal equipment. But yeah, form alliances. I guess I don't think we're gonna get another form of player organization in the game, unless they're gonna make like a level above squadrons. That so you can make squadrons, and squadrons can then form alliances. I don't know, or this could just be here you can go and meet other players. Purchase services. I wonder what type of services that is. If it's, I mean, the services we have now, the station services, like, you know, refuel, rearm, repair. There's all the contract, like material traders, that kind of thing. Maybe it's that kind of stuff that you're going to be able to get, but probably also stuff related to this new planetary landing. Maybe you can get someone to transport you to another place on the planet, or I don't know, something like that. And even find expert support in highly coveted engineers. So does that mean new engineers? For like guns, for like personal arms stuff? I don't know. It could be that they mean that this is referring to engineers. But yeah, so then they of course say that the public outpost is going to be where you can upgrade weapons, so they are going to be upgradable. Weapons and gear, so it's not just weapons, it's probably also armor you can set up to perfect your playstyle. So I would assume that depending on your playstyle, the playstyles mentioned up here, whether you're gonna go stealth or all out, you can probably do different builds, just like you can with your ship. You can also do character builds designed for different types of missions. That is pretty cool. I really like that. Okay, let's take this part here. Experience intense first-person combat. Kit out your character with an array of weapon and gear. Yeah, as we just talked about. And coordinate with teammates to master a multi-layered, deep, tactical environment where commanders, SRVs, and ships converge. Okay, so you're gonna have... multi-layered, deep... Okay. I don't know if it's gonna be like a dungeon kind of thing. It almost sounds to me like it's gonna be like a dungeon kind of thing. Right? That you kind of... you assemble a raid party and you go into a dungeon and you kill the bad guys. I would definitely expect that an update like this would have more types of SRVs. It would make so much sense to add this now. So CQC on foot, maybe it's like CQC on foot. Apart from the fact that CQC is completely, it's completely separate game mode from the rest of the game. This seems to be a lot more integrated into the game. Okay, from now on to launch, we will share more information. Developer diaries. I was really excited when I read this. I love that they're bringing back developer diaries. And trailers as we get ready to embark on this exciting new adventure. You can wishlist right now on Steam. And they have a Steam page, which I actually had open already. We get, I think that's a screenshot from the video, or is that a new screenshot? I'm not sure. This is pretty much the same. This is all the same. We don't have a price on it yet. No, we don't have a price on it yet. But it is gonna be a paid DLC. That's that much we do know. What price it's gonna have, we don't know yet. But it is gonna be a paid DLC. Can cost $100 for buy, instant buy. I'm not gonna say I don't care how much it costs, because obviously I do, and I don't hope they're gonna like overprice it. I think, obviously it's going to be paid for, but I think a lot of the income is going to be from cosmetics for your armor. Basically, here are new paint jobs for your armor, so you can run around in something that's just not a white suit. If you want something else, then you can buy that. And we have some people here saying they would stretch to 35 pounds. Some say 40 pounds. Yeah, Picardo on Twitch says full retail release of everything. So the base game, Horizons, and the new Odyssey update, $60, and expansion $30, $30 US. Yeah, but people are betting around. Oh, sorry, 50 Canadian. Okay, people seem to be. It's jumping about a bit, but yeah. Again, pricing. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't hope it's not gonna be too overpriced. But again, we don't know. We'll wait and see. Let's talk about VR. Let's jump back to the post here, because how would you do VR in this? Well, didn't they mention first person somewhere? Yes. No, the first person in history. Great. Here we go. Intense first person combat. So yes, it is going to be first person. Which would technically mean there would be support for VR. However, if you've ever played, like, the movement mechanics in VR is always interesting. If you have VR works well in Elite because you sit still in a chair most of the time. Well, all of the time. You're not really walking around. If you ever played a game in VR where your character is actually walking, that could be very nauseating for some people. So how they're gonna do that, I don't know. I hope they're gonna implement VR for it. I think they will, but there are also some parts of the game where it kind of feels like that the initial implementation of VR is not something they're prioritizing too much. I don't think they're going to hold back on some game developing things because it is not suited for VR. Then I think they're gonna make it. I think they're gonna prioritize making a good gameplay decision, making good gameplay rather than making something that works well in VR. Also because there is a lot of players not playing this in VR. I think the majority of players are not playing it in VR. So I think VR is gonna be a thing, but it might not necessarily be the best experience unless you have a really strong stomach and don't mind walking around. There's also the whole issue of people like myself who play the game on what's Alex like in VR? I haven't played it. But yeah, that's right, you do walk around there. That seems to work. There's the whole issue. Some of you guys talked about it before we started the live stream. Was what about controls? Because obviously, if you're playing on Xbox or PlayStation, you have your controller, and that should be just fine. If you're playing on PC, mouse and keyboard, no problem, you're good to go. What if you play with a hostess? There's a lot of people on hostess. I would probably expect that this type of like a first-person shooter kind of game is gonna work terrible on a hostess. So I would probably end up in a situation like this, either having a controller that I can switch to whenever I need to go and do the walking around stuff, or I would outright just move the hostess aside and move over to mouse and keyboard. I think there can be no doubt that first-person shooters on a hostess is a terrible idea. So you would have to switch away from the hostess as I see it. And we are, again, I know there's a lot of you guys who already use like an Xbox controller for the SRV. And I could see a similar situation work here, where whenever you go out and you walk around, you switch over to an Xbox controller or to mouse and keyboard. I think that could both work. I actually haven't tried VR in No Man's Sky. Thanks for the donation. I used to play Minecraft on my hotels. Presumably the transition from ship to FPS is gonna be long enough. Yeah, I would naturally expect that they're going to, that they will have to hide a loading screen between you sitting in the ship and you going out. I mean, when I say a loading screen, I don't mean the spinning ship. I mean something like, right now we have the loading screen between systems, which is the hyperspace tunnel. When you're jumping between systems, that is essentially just the loading screen. They could do something similar here. It could be like an animation of the character like getting out of his seat and then walking over to a ramp and then basically using that as a loading screen. I wonder how much rebuy for yourself. I mean, you already must have clones. I mean, yeah, like an airlock animation or something. On elevator. Also, elevators are great for for loading screens as well. It begs the whole question, of course. Are we going to be able to walk around the ships? And what about stations? We haven't seen anything regarding that. We know we're going to be able to walk around on planets. But what about ships' interiors? What about stations? Those are some of the really interesting questions that we haven't heard anything about yet. When we're going to see more of this information, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure, I'm almost 100% sure that this was an accidental release by Frontier. I don't think they were planning to release it today. Both because like the video went out and then it was unlisted and then they took the video down and then they, like a few hours later, they put it back up again. And it seems like they launched it on as an accident. And if you also look at the timing, it's a really weird timing for a release like this, right before a very, very anticipated update. I mean, there was no shortage of hype in the community for the fleet carriers. Don't get me wrong, not just was hype as for this, but there was a decent amount of hype for the fleet carriers coming out. So posting this now seems like a really odd choice. If I think I would at least have posted it, let's say, a month from now, when the whole fleet carrier thing has kind of died down a bit. Then you begin to look into the next era update and begin to post this. So seems to me like this was probably released a little earlier than they had originally planned. Yeah. Also, someone says that you can read from the front post that it was rushed. I mean, I think it's pretty clear this was something that they made up like last minute, because they accidentally released that video. Not complaining. I think this is wonderful that we're getting this news now, and it's definitely something I'm looking forward to. What about the announcement? Do you think they wrote that? Yes, I think. I can't confirm that, I don't know. But what I think happened is, again, if we talk, I think I think as far as I know, the video was accidentally published. Then they unlisted it, but the link was already out and people were already sharing the link left and right. So they took the video down. But by the time they took the video down, it's already been captured and it immediately began to resurface, and people were re-uploading it, and it was just out. They couldn't stop it by then. So, but from when that happened until they actually re-uploaded it, it was like, I don't know exactly how much time it was, but it was like an hour or an hour and a half or something like that. Probably like an hour, well, yeah, somewhere between an hour and a half. That would be enough time that you could go, if you were in full on, like, we need to get this up, we need to get it out now kind of mode. You could write this up very, very quickly. It might also be that they've already began working on it. And I mean, they were uploading videos and getting ready for a release, right? So maybe some of this was already written. And they just had to fine tune it and post it and away with it just to get that information out now. And again, kudos to Frontier for just saying, okay, fair enough, it's out. Let's just post it anywhere. Would it be enough time to post a new Steam page? No, I don't think they created a new Steam page. I think that page has existed for a while. It just hasn't been published. It's been a private thing. So they just decided, now let's go and let's make the Steam page public. This is probably something they've been working on for quite a while. Again, I believe that that this information would have come in the not too distant future anyway. I just don't think it was meant to be today. Yeah, I agree. It's not a leak. A leak would have been if someone had got a hold of a link to the unlisted video. I don't know if again, when I saw the video before they took it down. But when the time I got into the video, it was already unlisted. I'm not sure if it was actually public at some point, or if someone has, I mean, it could be a leak. That someone had leaked the link to that video, and then someone decided to just begin to share that publicly, and then, well, this whole thing happened. I don't know. I just assume that what happened was they accidentally released the video. It could have been that someone actually leaked the link for the video, which kind of forced their hand, right? A leak or mistake, generates more hype than an announcement. Intelligent marketing. Again, I don't think that they would do that on purpose. Not now. Not when fleet carriers are less than a week away. That just seems weird. But okay. But yeah, thanks for the super chat. Where was it? Mining Painite on foot, bring it on. I hope they're gonna be something like that, where you can walk around and then mine high value materials, like with a pickaxe or a laser pickaxe or whatever they have in the future. I don't know. Maybe the devs at early access Space Sims and hack. Mining bazooka. Yeah, just shoot a rocket propelled grenade into the ground and then begin catching rocks as they fall back down. You die in the SRV, you lose the SRV and respawn in the ship. If you die on foot, what do you think they will do? You die in the game. You die in the real world. I personally think if you die, they're gonna send you back to your ship. I think you're gonna respawn in your ship. Much like what happens if you die in the SRV. I mean, okay, if you die in your SRV, you'll respawn back in your ship. Imagine the SRV wasn't there. Imagine that the SRV just disappeared like that. Then you would respawn back in your ship. So that's why I think what they're going to do is if you get killed, you're going to respawn either in your ship or back at one of those, what do they call them? Social hubs. Where is it? Social, whatever. Assemble your crew. No, it's right in the beginning. Social hubs, yeah. So respawn maybe like that. I don't know. What if you shoot your friend in Crimson? I would expect that to be exactly the same as with the ships. That you're gonna get a fine, and if you get enough fine, NPCs are gonna come after you. Will they fix any of the innumerable problems that exist in the game? No idea. Like, wake up and you have back a new badger. Someone's been playing Star Citizens. Or in your SRV, that's also an option. It could just be the last, you just wake up in the last vehicle you were in or building. It could be you spawned back in your SRV. What's the donation link here? Super, you should be able to find the donation link in the chat. I hope. Unless I forgot. I didn't actually check it yesterday. I hope I'm able to rob commanders at gunpoint for pirating. Thank you, Donglore. Donglore just posted the link for Streamlabs where we can do donations if you want to. SRVs and fighter upgrades would be awesome. I'm not sure we're gonna get upgrades, but I think at least SRV-wise, I think the description is empty. Wow, okay. I don't think we're gonna get. I think we're gonna get new SRVs, but not necessarily upgradable SRVs. In all seriousness, they should purchase No Man's Sky's tech for Random Planet. One of the things I like about Frontier is they've always been very much do-it-yourself kind of guys. I mean, they made their own Cobra engine and... What up, Bunny? The Bunny's got some new carpets, and one of them is just absolutely loves it. So he's like jumping around down here on the carpet next to me. Oh well. If someone kills you in your own ship, do you respawn on top of them again? They can kill. No, if someone kills you in your own ship, you respawn back at the last station you docked at. So that would mean that probably that's why I mean, if you're in a ship, you respawn the last station you dock at. If you're in an SRV, you respawn back at your ship. So that's why I think if you're out on foot, you're gonna respawn either in your SRV or in your ship again. Yeah, the mission of engineers make me think like engineering for SRVs and suit techs. It depends how much of a role SRVs are gonna play. They could make new types of SRV, like a mini tank that you could drive around in and use for assaulting bases or assaulting settlements and outposts. That would be cool. And if that's going to be an option that you can drive around in basically tanks, then I could see them being upgradable. But that would indicate that you would begin to actually fit modules to your SRVs, or just outright add engineering to the SRV bay that would then thereby reflect the SRVs inside it. So maybe you could add more firepower or more armor or more shield or something like that. And hopefully also more of those side grades upgrades. I mean, upgrade from engineers is always fun to get better stats, but side grades are often the most fun thing where you just change the behavior to fit your playstyle. I think that's often a lot more fun. Oh, one of the rabbits. He really, really liked the new carpets. Siege SRV. Yes, exactly. Or maybe oh, you know what would be cool? Now we're just in pure speculation mode, by the way. We've gone way beyond actually analyzing what they're saying in the post. But now we just got pure speculation, by the way. Flyable skimmers. Like, you know, those like that hovers around above the surface. That used to be the thing you kill when you want to make money fast. You need a bunny cam. But I don't think I can get the camera down there. Hover bikes. Yeah. Yes, tanks would be nice. I agree. I would like to see tanks. A lot slower than the current SRV. Mining SRV, yes, I like that man. Listen to that man. Hover tanks. Does the sphere of combat descriptions sound like it could be a separate mode like Theater of War in Star Citizens? I don't know. I don't know what the Theater of War is in Star Citizens, but I hope that it's not gonna be a separate game mode like CQC. It definitely sounds like it's gonna be integrated into the game and be an integrated part of the game. If we board and kill the pilot, do you think we can steal the ship? Or the ship starts a destination. I'm not sure we're gonna be able to board other people's ships. I don't know. I never actually thought about that. It would make sense if you could, but I wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't. I think the ships is gonna be safe havens. I never actually thought about it, but I just always assumed that the ships and the would be a safe haven, right? Where you're not gonna get attacked. Unless, of course, someone else is in the ship, they can shoot your ship, but that people are not gonna walk into your ship and assassinate you while you're sitting in the cockpit. Hawks Gaming says, just woke up. Holy crap, yeah. What a thing to wake up to. Thanks for the subscription on YouTube. No, I agree. I mean, because I suppose why would you be able? I mean, naturally you would lock your door when you left your ship. I mean, just like I can't drive up to another commander's ship and then in an SRV and then board his ship through the docking hatch thing with the SRV elevator thing, right? I can't do that. It's not allowing me to do it because I'm not the owner of the ship. Similarly, I don't think we're gonna allow other players to walk into the ship. If we're gonna be able to walk inside the ships at all, we don't know yet. I hope we're gonna be able to walk around in the ships and the stations. But it could just be that they're gonna start with the planets. I think it will have its own game mode like Arena. But again, sometimes it does seem like the whole grouping up and they have this. What did they say? They said. Assemble your crew. No, that's not it. Here was in the Sphere of Combat section. Coordinate with team members to master the multi-layered, deep tactical environments where commanders, SRV, and starships. So this kind of sounds like there is some kind of like not like a dungeon, like a cave you walk into, but there's like a mission that will require some people on foot and some people in SRVs and some people in ships to take out different targets to like attack a base. That would be cool. Like having someone. Sorry, I think I missed the super chat there. Warrenstein, thanks a lot for the donation, which was a super chat here. I am playing with Velcro. Sorry, I'm just fiddling with things. I wouldn't expect any PvP from this. Oh, I definitely expect PvP from this. I definitely think there will be PvP in this. Yeah, I agree, Revco. This screams PvP. That there would be like a combat, some kind of combat thing that you can go run around and shoot each other. I mean, we can shoot each other. If people aren't open, you can just shoot each other as much as you like. Why wouldn't you be able to just because you're on foot? That doesn't make sense. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to see PvP. Yeah, exactly. Like assault the turrets with ships, drive the SRV to take down skimmers, and then go on foot to go into the building and take out personnel. Something like that. And that would also make sense with, say, the multi-layered. So it could be like you fly in your ships, then you take out some of the bigger turrets, and then once you've done that, you land, you get out your SRV, you drive up to the gate, and you take out some of the security skimmers. I like that idea. And then once the perimeter is clear and safe, you can then go out and then you can enter the base and go in and PvP, first person shoot your way through the buildings until you find your objective, which could be like save the damsel in distress or get that piece of equipment or piece of data out of the computer or whatever. And then get out again. That kind of stuff. So will you be able to interact with others in solo on foot? Just not get ganked. I don't think if you play solo, you play solo. But private groups exist, so you can play with other commandos there without getting ganked. Will you have a personal shield while on foot? No idea. Fleet carriers as the social hubs? I would expect those to be planet side though, but yeah, maybe. NPCs walking around, of course NPCs will be shooting back at you. I'm pretty sure NPCs will be shooting back at you. I mean, I kind of like the idea of that multi-layered mission kind of thing, where you both have to have a ship for it, you need to have an SRV on board, and then you need to get out and you need to go and PPU some people. Yeah, exactly. Walking around the alien ruins will be awesome. I agree. I mean, we did have that leak a while back where somebody found a rendered model of Thargoids in the flesh. Who knows? Maybe that wasn't. I mean, Frontier denied it back then that it was anything they were actively working on, but who knows? I think they did. I'm actually not 100% sure about that, so don't quote me on that. But as I recall, I think they said that no, this wasn't something they were actively working on. There were some old assets that were left in the game. But I would definitely love to see some first-person PPU with Thargoids. Time to smash in some alien heads. Panther Clipper soon? Nah, not this time around, I think. Do we know how big Thargoids are compared to humans? No. But if we look at the ruins, like the Thargoid bases, I think they would be pretty big, given how big the tunnels are. It's time to reenact Starship Troopers. What do you think if I'm on a planet on foot? A planet on foot and a cone of a white dwarf is in my way. Would I get killed immediately? No, because the planet cone or the cones of a white dwarf does not affect the SRV, so I don't think it will affect a person on foot either. I just want to explore Mars. Mars, I'm pretty sure they would permanent lock. Try walking around on an 8G planet. That's actually an interesting point there. What are they going to do? I hope they're going to do a realistic model of lower G and higher G planets. Mars has been terraformed anyway. That's a good point there. That yes, Mars is terraformedly dangerous, so no walking on Mars. 8G planets, that would be super fast Wi-Fi. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, if we look at the suits, actually not on this shot. There was that in the video, or was that in none of the other ones? Hold on, let me see. Did we actually look at these pictures? I think we did. I could have sworn I saw some pictures where it looked like there were like joints in the knees for... was that in the video? Let's just watch the video again. Maybe I was wrong. So far the suit seems to be mostly fabric. I agree, it looks amazing. Yeah, 11 is right. It's not gameplay, but it's in engine. So it means it's I don't know. Was there anything we missed on the Steam page? Add to wishlist. We don't see a price for it yet, do we? Partial controller support. Early 2021. View update history. Well, that is stretched out of proportion. I like this one. The advanced technology of elite, dangerous, far future will finally grant humans the impossible power of lax, according to news from Frontier developments today. The space exploration Early next year. It's called Odyssey in the game. Yeah, okay. Oh, there's a whole article of this. Okay, so it just takes you to an article on it. Thank you, Rorenstein, for the very generous donation. And yes, everybody, please go down and hit that like button. What else do we have here? Read related news. Find community groups. Well, I guess we can kind of get a feeling for the price if we look at the Horizons update. I would say this is at the very least as big, if not actually bigger than the Horizons update. Okay, we don't know exactly how much is in the update yet, but it has the potential to be a massive update. So we can see here the base game right now on Steam is 50 euros with 25, so half for the Horizons updates. I would probably expect that to be around the same price of Horizons, maybe slightly more. Hello, Kai. So I would probably, like, price-wise, I know we discussed it earlier. I think it's gonna be like the 25 to 30 euro area. That's my guess. Matthew, thanks a lot for the super chat. How will this work if you use VR? We don't know, but it's first person, so I would expect it would work in VR. Oh yeah, that's right. You still have that bet, Kaya Duggle. That's a bet that's about to be settled in a few days. If someone with a lifetime pass, yeah, so lifetime pass holders will obviously get this for free. Oh, well, for free. They paid for it when they last, but yeah. Yeah, we have Mike DC who says that the expansion will be 25 to 30 pounds or euros or whatever, like around that price point, with the standalone edition. Yeah, everything for 45. I don't know if maybe on sale, but 45 for everything seems. Maybe they're gonna do a sale for the full package. They probably would. It would make sense, right? When you get this new update, you get a lot of news coverage, a lot of hype, you get a lot of new players coming in. You don't want to make the paywall to get that new content too steep, right? So you would probably say, yeah, I think you're actually right with that. You would probably lower the price of the full package, right? Get the base game, get Horizons, and get Odyssey for something more reasonable, and then have the full game. Or just the update, just that DLC for something less. Thanks for the video, it's been extremely helpful to me and my friends. Keep up the good work, and massive hype for Fleet Carriers and Odyssey. Indeed, massive hype for Fleet Carriers and Odyssey, and thanks a lot for the super chat. I mean, Matthew has a good point here that, okay, he says that even though, whoops, scroll away there, even though it's not what I wanted, it's still exciting to see Elite Dangerous still keeps going, getting word it was nearly, it was nearly the end. I think a lot of people was getting that feeling that Elite was kind of coming to, was kind of slowly being discontinued. I know Frontier said that we have this big update, but we haven't seen anything yet. Until today, of course. But I think that critique is going to be pretty silent now with that latest update that we just, with the news we've seen today. I mean, there's no way that Frontier would put this much time and effort in to develop something like this if they were planning to just release that and then abandon the game. I can definitely see that this is going to be an expansion they're going to be developing on a lot more. Also, a thing we don't know is, are they going to do a similar thing as they did with Beyond? I know Beyond was a free update, But what they did in both Beyond and Horizons was they had a initial, like, this is what you get in the DLC, and then they had like some minor patches. So you get a huge patch at the beginning with the majority of the content, and then you get small patches along the way. That is then included if you have the Odyssey. You have the Odyssey DLC. I could see them do that again. Otherwise, they would have to immediately begin work on the next paid DLC, and it might be that they're going to switch over to a model where instead of doing a ton of small patches, where you basically buy like a season pass, because it doesn't seem like it's going to be a season pass this time. I think Frontier kind of got burned on the season pass with Horizons, where they said, oh, we're going to include all of these things in the season pass. And they expected that to take a year, and it ended up taking like 2 or 2.5 years to do. Obviously making that a lot more expensive to develop than originally planned. So there's quite a bit of creep in that, I think. So that's why I think they're a little afraid of doing a season pass. And then they tried with Beyond to kind of say, okay, we're going to make it a free update, and then they were going to try to make in the money from cosmetics, like from arcs and that kind of stuff. So it seems this time around that they're going to go for a more, like, you buy the DLC, you get what's in the DLC, and then you're going to, well, hopefully not wait 2 years until you get the next DLC. Hopefully a little bit less. Yeah, as also to you guys talking about in chat, we have only seen the tip of the iceberg of what this has to offer. This is just a teaser. I think there is so much more in this that we haven't seen yet, and I can only imagine like what they will do. What I really like about this is there seems to be a high focus on the multiplayer aspect. It's something I've always missed in Elite, that would be a little bit more love for the multiplayer focus of the game. I mean, the few times where they have done something, it has been a little lacking. I mean, if we take something like multi-crew, I was really excited. I loved multi-crew. It's a great idea. Get people on your ship, fly together, like take out control different sections of the ship. Problem is, it's just horribly unstable, and I've had so many issues with multi-crew to the point now where it's almost an unused feature in the game. But I like that they're really focusing on the multiplayer aspect, and I'm hoping that in this small little mention of new tech, where did it go? There we go, new tech. Stunning. Okay, it does say stunning new tech, so that indicates that it's a graphical thing, right? That's at least how I read it. Since they say it's stunning, that indicates that it's graphics. If I were Frontier, I would... Admiral's Landing, hint around Halloween with base building and ice worlds. Ice worlds, we've seen pictures. Commander DJS Slugger. Hi Astro, look like I'll be coming back to DG3A sometime soon. Thanks again for your content. You're very welcome, and I hope to see you back in the community soon. Yeah, stunning new tech sounds like a new... But again, okay, is it just me? Let's just watch this thing again, because... Is it just me? Or does it look like a general graphic update of the game? I mean, this could be Elite. As it is today. This just doesn't... I mean... This seems beyond what we have today. No pun intended. You might have to update Commander's Toolbox. With regard to what? I know the mining guide is going to be outdated in a few days, but I'll update it. It looks like a pre-rendered video. Yeah, it could be. I mean, they say it is. They say here right on screen that it is in in-engine footage. I don't know what in-engine footage means. It could be that the graphic engine is just capable of doing something like this, but it's never actually going to be able to do it in game because it would be too heavy to do. Yeah, exactly. It means it takes directly from the engine. But again, it could be that to do this, it would be impossible for any known graphics card to do this real time, and they just do a pre-render of it. I don't know. That could be. It does say footage. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if we're putting too much into this little sentence down here. Yeah, it could be a clear way to say it's not in-game. But I think the reason why it's not in-game is also because pre-alpha, I don't think there's much gameplay yet to show. I mean, they might have done a lot of the modeling. Obviously, they've done a lot of modeling of the characters and the weapons and a lot of the designs about what they want to do with missions and all that kind of stuff has probably been what they've been working on so far. But actually having a runnable demo, I don't think they're there yet. Just more and more grind. Terrain look the same? No. Does it? You think so? This... come on. That looks better than the game does today. It might just be because of the blurred background and the cinematic shots. I don't know. Do you think that with fleet carriers and base building? Now, base building has not been confirmed. I just want to stress that. But do you think that with fleet carriers and base building we'll be able to make a new colonial entirely run by players? Maybe. Hopefully. Yeah, the terrain, I commented about that in the beginning, that the terrain looked very smooth here. I've never seen the surface of a planet look this smooth. But then again, I don't know. Yeah, as Viking's sale says that it's more or less the same procedure generated terrain with new textures. Yeah, I would be happy with a new texture. A texture update. Could you say so on Twitch that I've auto-hosted you for nearly 2 weeks, but I forgot to follow you. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you very much, and I do indeed. It's definitely gonna be interesting. I don't know. It could just be that when they refer to starting new tech, that it just mean, look how pretty this is. Like the new planetary atmospheric effect. But new tech just sounds like they've done an update to the engine. Right? It sounds like that to me at least. Could Elite be ported to Unreal Engine 5? I don't think so. I think this also has a kind of vibe, the suit. I don't think they're gonna port it to Unreal Engine 5. Frontier already have their own graphic engine, the Cobra engine, that they're using. I don't think they're gonna go away from that. What's the page? Owen, if you're interested in the page, just go to Elite Dangerous forums. If you go to the front page, just actually go to the front page, look like that. If you just search Elite Dangerous forum, you go to News and Bulletin, and it's right there. Elite Dangerous Odyssey announcement. And there's the page where you can go and you can read it yourself. And the thousands of site pages of comments now. Oh, it's posted by Tim. That's new. Clearly, new tech is about the planet generation. Read the whole sentence in context. Okay. See the galaxy like never before. Touchdown on breathtaking planets powered by... Yeah, okay. So touchdown on breathtaking new planets powered by stunning new tech. So you think it's just the new planet generation that they are referring to as new tech? I don't know. I might be reading in too much into it. Anyway, I don't know how much more we can... I mean, we could just quickly scroll through, see if there's any dev update posts in the first couple of pages here. They might have posted something. Not sure if I'm gonna go through all of the pages, but... The hype train, all on board. Yeah, we can see a lot of people here also talking about VR and how that's gonna work out. Yeah, exactly. That you have fleet carriers, and all of a sudden it's like just before fleet carriers arrive, there's here's a shiny new toy. Everybody goes over there and looks at that. Scanning the forum. The silly things. Am I also on Twitch or only on YouTube? I'm also on Twitch. I'm on both platforms. Okay, I don't see anything, and I don't want to sit and scrub through all the all the pages now. Thanks for the follow on Twitch. Not gonna play it because copyright stuff, but okay, let's get back to the first page. There we go again. Okay, guys. I think I'm gonna call the stream for today. I hope you enjoyed my little deep dive into some of the details around this, and also some speculations and discussions here at the end. Thanks a lot for all you guys who would like participate in the chat. It was really nice having a chat about this. If you want to continue the talk, though, I will be hanging out over on Discord. Yeah, exactly. As long as Dongelor says, link spam incoming. So in a second, in your designated chat, wherever you are, YouTube or Twitch, there will be a link for Discord. You're welcome to come by. I will will be hanging out over there after the live stream's ended, and we continue the discussion over there. I would like to hear your point of view on this. What do you think about it? And if you have some ideas you feel like I missed, then please do come over and we can chat about it over there. Also, you'll also find links for all kinds of good stuff. You can find links for Streamlabs, where you can do one-time donations. There is links for Patreon, where you can do monthly subscriptions. And as a lot of you guys are doing right now, you can go down and give the stream a like if you haven't done already. Follow if you're watching on Twitch. Subscribe if you're over on YouTube. Help the channel grow. It's actually growing really, really fast at the moment. But yeah, I think I'll jump over on Discord, and I hope I'll see a lot of you guys there. So, thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, I will see you guys in space.